all started when the discovery of attraction was made. Thales of Miletus, in 600 BCE, rubs together lodestone, a natural magnet occurring from mineral magnetite, and amber, a fossilized tree resin, and he found out that they attract. The Greek noted that such rubbed amber could attract light objects, such as hair, and if rubbed strongly for a long time, they can produce a spark. While on 400 BCE, Democritus, a Greek philosopher, propounds the theory of atomic structure of matter, saying that atoms are in perpetual motion and are invisible. Lastly, on 56 BCE, Titus Lucretius Carus reiterates Democritus' statement on atomic theory. He wrote a poem, De Rerum Natura, in which he explains and develops atomistic cosmology. He makes allusions to magnet iron fillings in brass basing with movable lodestone underneath, which causes magnetic attraction and overload.
The history of electrons. 1600s, William Gilbert first coined the term electricity from the Greek word for amber, electron. He also first used the terms electric force, magnetic pole, and electric attraction. He also discusses static electricity and invents an electric fluid which is liberated by rubbing. During the 1660s, Otto van Guericke, a German scientist, established all the physics of vacuums. During the 1744, Canius and Machinbrook discovered the Leyden jar. The Leyden jar is a device that stores static electricity between two electrodes. The Leyden jar is the first capacitor in history. During the 1750s, Benjamin Franklin conducted experiments on discharge from pointed rods during thunderstorms. In his famous kite experiment, Franklin identifies atmospheric and frictional electricity. He proves that electricity in the clouds and static electricity produced by a hand-cranked machine are the same. As early as 1749, Franklin is credited with inventing the first lightning rod. 1785, Charles Ducano, a French physicist, explains the interaction between electrically charged particles. This interaction is known as electrostatic force, and the theory he proposes is later named as Coulomb's law. During the 1800s, Alessandro Volta, an Italian physicist, invents the first electric battery. This battery is known as the galvanic pile. Volta discovered the existence of potential difference, and charge flow occurs when there is a potential difference. The terminology of potential difference, voltage, and its unit volts is called after his name. During the 1820s, Hans Christian Ørsted, a Danish physicist, finds that needle of a compass deflects when kept near a charge-carrying conductor, and hence lays foundation to electromagnetism. Ørsted is the unit of magnetic field strength, named after him. On the same year, André Maria Ampère proposes the Ampere's force law, which logically describes the interaction between electricity and magnetism. She studied the force between two charge-carrying conductors kept in parallel. This experiment is used to define rate of flow of charge or current, and the unit current, ampere, is named after her. 7 years later, George Simon Kuhn, a German physicist, states that every material has a certain kind of resistance that prevents the flow of charge through them in normal state. Ohm proposes his law, called as Ohm's law, as current flowing through conductors between 2 points is directly proportional to the potential difference between 2 points.
Michael Faraday, who was dubbed as the legend, became the most influential contributor to electromagnetism, despite having little formal education during his childhood. Electromagnetic induction, which is the basic principle behind generators, transformers, and motors, was discovered by Faraday in 1831. In 1834, Faraday proposed the law of electrolysis, which formed the basis of batteries. Because of having not much knowledge in advanced mathematics and calculus, Michael Faraday failed to explain his theories in mathematical form. It was James Clerk Maxwell who put together all theories on electrical science and all mathematical equations at that time to conclude at Maxwell's equation. Maxwell's equation formed the foundation of electric circuit, modern electronics, and communications technologies. The telephone in 1876. Alexander Graham Bell got the patent for first form of telephone. The electric bulb, which is widely used nowadays, was invented by Thomas Alva Edison in 1879 and patents it in USA. In 1887, radio waves arrived in our world. Henry Hertz generates electromagnetic waves in his laboratory. 1897, the first form of radio is now ready. Guglielmo Marconi, an Italian physicist, invented the first form of radio and gets patent for the same. Marconi also used antenna for transmission. The popularizing of alternate current happened in 1880 to 1943. Nikola Tesla, a Siberian-American inventor, who was an employee of Thomas Edison, worked intensively in developing alternate current, which is much cheaper to produce and to transmit compared to direct current. 1904. The invention of vacuum tube and the beginning of rectification. James Ambrose Fleming, an English physicist, invented the first vacuum tube or diode, which is used in making rectifier to convert AC to DC. In 1907, the triode is launched and the beginning of amplification. It was Lee DeForest, an American inventor, invented the triode or a vacuum tube with 3 electrodes which can amplify a weak signal. And here comes World War. The discovery of diode and triode paved the way to the development of radio communication devices. World War I and World War II forced the scientific community to shift their focus from existing research to war requirement, and the history of electronics is waiting for the next big leap.
The modern electronics era. It began when the transistors was discovered in 1947. John Barden and William Brittain discovered that when 2 gold points contact and were applied to a crystal of germanium, a signal was produced with the output power greater than the input.
While working at Texas Instruments, Jack Kilby had a crazy idea to wire together transistors, resistors, and capacitors in the motherboard to a single wafer as a chip, and hence born the first integrated circuit in 1958. The Moore's Law. In 1965, Gordon Moore comes up with a paper which states that the number of transistors used in a single chip of silicon will grow exponentially.
Did you know that Intel was born in 1968? It was by Gordon Moore and Robert Noyce, which started the company in the field of microelectronics, and this born the company named Intel.
The invention of the first microprocessor. Intel invents a chip named as 4004, which has 2,300 transistors in 1971. Ted Hoff, the inventor, proposes the idea of coming up a universal processor that can be customized by the user according to his requirements. 8008, 8085, Pentium series, and many more paved way to the present i-series.
Altair 8800 was made by an American electronics company named MITS. The project was led by Ed Roberts and Forrest Mintz. They released their product for $397 and gave advertisements and articles in popular electronics magazines. Bill Gates and Paul Allen saw the odds and reached out to MITS to write software using BASIC language, hence born a new company named as Microsoft, which also gave birth to the first personal computer on 1975.
Did you know when was the company that made iPhone 5 and iPhone 6 started? Well, it was on 1976 when Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and a friend built their model of personal computer in bulk and sell it to households. Wozniak will handle the manufacturing while Jobs will sell the computer. Apple I was born, which was handmade by Steve Wozniak. In order to finance the production of Apple I, Steve Jobs sold his only material possession in this world, a VW van.
The first 16-bit microprocessor and the first microcontroller was first released and introduced in 1976 to 1978. Intel released it to the market named as 8086.
In present, technology is rapidly upgrading. From mini drones, gadgets to cars, we can really tell that advancement is at its peak. We live in a generation wherein innovation is found everywhere. Technological advancements affect the way we live, the way we communicate, the way we travel, and the way we learn. And thus, our personal life is highly dependent on these things. So we must live it, love it. and appreciate.